I was just a school-going girl who had her own idea of what is happiness, what are dreams, what are hopes, and what it is like to be a girl free from all cultural and religious baggage. A girl who believed that sky is the limit for her. And then one day, my father brought me some colorful hijabs. I thought it was a present, so I started wearing it without knowing the meaning or idea behind this attire. It was just a colorful piece of cloth for me. I wore it for some days and then I wanted to remove it, but I was told by my father rather strictly that I can't do it. In fact, I'm not allowed to do it because all pious and modest Muslim women they wear it and they protect family's honor by covering themselves. So clearly I had no choice. It was quite a shock for me. But one day when I came back from school, I saw my parents were arguing and I was standing right there looking at them, in shock and wondering what's going on. Just then my mother noticed me and she came closer and then she pulled that hijab off my head and looked at my father in defiance. And she said, I didn't give birth to a slave. And that was the last time I wore the hijab. Hijab is a symbol of women's oppression, which is used to relegate women to the shadows. Oppressed women, they have refused to conform to centuries old patriarchal definition of modesty. But some privileged free women, they are conveniently willing to give up hard earned freedoms to comply. The former is courage, and the latter is betrayal.
I was 9. I was forced to, out of fear. I was 19 and it felt so good. I felt so safe, so feminine, just to just feel my hair. Hijab is a violation of basic human rights.
I started wearing hijab when I was 6 years old because my family, my mom, my uncle told me that I have to, because they said that I was fitna with Zahraa, so I had to wear it to make them happy. I removed hijab when I was 18 years old. I felt like I'm naked when I took it off. I think it's kind of a statement when celebrating of Hijab Day. It's kind of a statement that you're doing this to submit to the rules, submit for the Islamists. They use it against us because they think that women are so vulnerable and they have to be modest, they have to satisfy them, they have to cover their hair, they have to submit. Celebrating Hijab Day or forcing hijab, it's a submission.
I started wearing the hijab at around the age of 8 because it felt like a rite of passage into womanhood, and I was really eager not to be seen as a child anymore. But I ended up removing it at 26 years old, and in my case, it felt extremely freeing, liberating, and it was very symbolic for me as an ex Muslim. Um, I do understand that the hijab can hold different meanings depending on each person, and to some extent, all of them are valid, but the hijab is in its core deeply misogynistic. Um, the hijab is an obligation or an option that deems that the woman's body has to be concealed. And I really highly encourage everyone to think about what this implies.
I started to wear the hijab when I was 13. I chose to wear the hijab because I wanted to be a good Muslim. The women around me always told me how empowering it was. I removed the hijab when I no longer saw it as empowering, but instead as a tool to control and objectify women. Removing the hijab felt both freeing and very alone. I had never before met somebody who had removed the hijab. For many women around the world, the hijab is still empowering, but for others, it's something forced upon them. The celebration of the hijab should never be made to silence those who are oppressed by it. For us to say that the hijab truly is a choice, it should be a choice for every woman. That is not the case today.